And I have known Jesus my whole life. I have went to Sunday school since I was little on, and a national youth leader through high school, and thought that I knew that I was living God's plan for me, like all the way into my adult years. And the way that God has worked in my life is almost too much to mention for just a couple minutes. But there's definitely some times where I notice that He's answered prayers, and I'm living a dream of mine, which is to own a house and have a family and live in Medford. And He's called me into nursing as my career. I was in school for cosmetology when I got the nursing call, and I chose nursing instead of cosmetology. And in school, I survived nursing school and got married, got a new job, had my first son, and shortly after he was born, actually it was before he was born, my dad was diagnosed with malignant melanoma. And when he was diagnosed, they gave him 6 months to live. He made it 4 years. And shortly after I had Shane, he was 2 months old when my dad passed away. And for 4 years after that, I don't really remember much. I was in a pretty deep, dark depression, and when I thought about hurting myself and hurting the kids is when I realized that something probably wasn't right. And I realized one main thing, and that was because I was trying to control my life. That I had tried to take the burden of losing my dad, of running a family, of running a career, all onto myself. And God had asked me to give that up. And He really showed me that I needed to stop trying to be in control and stop trying to understand what had happened and why things happen the way that they do. Because that's the only thing that I prayed for, was help me understand, help me understand, help me understand. And within the last 2 years or so, I've really seen more of a transformation in my life, because I have gotten over the hurt and the pain. Although it's still very raw, it's still, it's mostly because I miss him, and I feel I have to let go of guilt yet for the many years that my children suffered because I wasn't emotionally sound. And within the last 2 years, God really showed me His true self and asked me to come to Him with everything, my whole life, my family, my children, my husband, my career, just giving it all up to Him. And that's what I've had to do. I've had to surrender everything. And although I'm still learning some things, to really listen to the whisper in the calm, when there's that calmness, that's God speaking. It's not always in the turmoil. It's not the turmoil, it's not the big powerful things. Usually it's the calm little whisper. And I'm getting better at that. But I think that it's a learning process. And within the last year, when I attended women's conference, my life was definitely transformed, and I found a new friend in the Holy Spirit, and a whole different sense of peace, and a whole different sense of something I hadn't known before. Even though I knew growing up knowing Jesus that what a different life you can have if you bring it all together and you just really give it all up. And last women's conference, I really was really trying, to find more answers, and I'm still looking for, definitely what I can do for God through me. So what does He want me to do? How does He want me to help change lives? Because I definitely think that's a calling. And when I was praying at women's conference, I felt like one of the ladies, she was praying with me, and she had set like a crown on my head, and I couldn't understand what that meant. Like, obviously it wasn't a real crown, but she said, "Here, I crown you," and prayed over me and stuff. And I haven't figured that out until this week, what that meant. And so as I was getting ready to share my testimony, God shared with me Isaiah 61. And Isaiah 61 says, the Lord's servant accomplishes His work. The Spirit of the Lord and King is on me. The Lord has anointed me to tell the good news to poor people. He has sent me to comfort those whose hearts have been broken. He has sent me to announce freedom for those who have been captured. He wants me to set prisoners free from their dark prisons. He has sent me to announce the year when He will set His people free. He wants me to announce the day when He will pay His enemies back. Our God has sent me to comfort all those who are sad. He wants me to help those in Zion who are filled with sorrow, and I will put beautiful crowns on their heads in place of ashes. I will anoint them with oil to give them gladness instead of sorrow, and I will give them a spirit of praise in place of a spirit of sadness. They will be like oak trees that are strong and straight. The Lord Himself will plant them in the land. That will show how glorious He is. So the crown is definitely to also set us forth in that God comes first, and then we have the power with God to denounce the devil in our lives, overcome great sadness and trials and tribulations, and even though we don't understand everything, that it makes us stronger and different. I am transformed.